What?
What are you guys doing here? I just thought I'd come down and have a drink.
Doing here? You haven't noticed that crawl space you have in the attic?
What? But what? I don't.
I've moved in.
You you live here?
She's in my spot.
So you're not leaving? Why? I mean, I know it's fun.
600 bottles.
Somebody needs to help you.
Oh my gosh, Malcolm! Well, I
I heard he's
not
got
here.
a flat tire.
I guess this is another episode of Try Before We Die, the whiskey review show where we don't know what we're drinking, but we'll tell you what we're thinking. And I'm still, what's going on here? I guess we're going to do an episode of Try Before We Die with Meg and Rick, who've both been on the show many times at this point.
Recently,
I think we had a good bottle together.
Yes, we did.
yes,
It was very
yes,
nice.
we
I
did.
suspect that.
Tonight's going to be a good one, too.
Yeah, I suspect that's what you're doing here. Is
Yes.
just getting yourself positioned for a good bottle. Well, tonight I'll push the buttons. And we'll see what Green Randy has in store for us tonight on Try Before We Die. We have no idea what it's going to be.
248.
193. So that's going to bring us to the bottom shelf on the back side. We could be in a Bowmore or a Tullibardine. We'll see what we're going to have tonight. Bottle 193. Bottle 193. Let's see, 150s, 160s, 170s, 180s, 190s. And it is a Bowmore. Some of these families stay in places for long enough that I can remember their spot. Other families shift quickly. Tonight, it's the Bowmore 15-year-old Aston Martin travel exclusive 43% ABV full 1 liter of Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. So we'll head back to the bar with Rick and Meg and we'll see about this. And there may be a little interesting twist to how this bottle got here. We'll see everybody back there with this 15-year-old Bowmore.
Cut.
Just got a sports car. An Aston Martin.
Oh,
So I got bottle 193 was the Bowmore. Now I've often been attracted to the pronunciation Bowmore, but it is Bowmore like bow and arrow, right? Even though bow of the ship, right? Yep. We spelled the same. Golden and elegant, 43% ABV, travel exclusive, duty-free shops only. And I think there's a little something ironic about the circumstances of this bottle being opened. Meg, did this bottle come from an airport in Ireland?
It happened to be, yes. In Dublin.
Yes, so you brought this here
I did.
following some international travel.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So it seems
Sorry.
only fitting.
Yes. Was that last year or the year before? I think it was the year before.
I think it's been here
My
for a little
first year.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 years
Good
ago, I brought
girdle.
it back.
Yeah.
nice girdle.
Oh, and it lasts for the first full pour. And second pour. And it runs out on the third, but it was still there. Has a nice gurgle in this full 1 liter bottle. Did you know it comes in liters?
I remember it used to come in fifths, but that's just showing my age.
Yeah. Or the ever famous handle. Yeah.
Golden and elegant.
Get yourself a handle. Yeah, golden and elegant, 43% ABV. Does anybody have any knowledge about Bowmore that you'd like to share or any questions? Right, it's an Islay distillery, right? So it's an Islay. So this is gonna be peated.
Yep.
All right. Anything else that you know?
I'm not really familiar with Bowmore. I've
Okay.
had some, I know,
Yep.
but I've had a lot of different whiskey.
Yeah. And I think like I would agree. I've had lots of Bowmores. I feel like we've definitely opened one or two on the show. It is just a traditional Islay, right? My bet is that this is going to be bourbon cask and bourbon cask only. The possibility of this having color added, we don't have a notation on the label, I think is reasonable. But the thing that would work against that would be that it is a duty-free only. The thing that would work towards that is that it's a duty-free, and so they're looking to attract the business traveler, right, and the vacationer, so they want to make sure they have a coloration that is going to be whiskey-oriented. Yeah. So certainly, I think we've got a whiskey color here, not a clear spirit color. Yep. I don't know much else to say right now about this Bowmore. I like the Bowmores. I just wonder if I was to just look and see if I just happen to have one catch my eye. But I don't, so I'm just trying to remember, because I know we've had the Bowmore, like bow and arrow, on the show before, I think in a tbwd fact. So I know, and I just can't think of the one that's been opened before. I think we're just going to have a classic Islay whiskey. I think we're going to have a smoky, perhaps vanilla, some sort of citrusy whiskey from those bourbon cask influences.
And the Aston Martin, just a marketing.
So I think it's just a marketing. I think that we'll probably have a smooth whiskey to go with the car. I believe it's just related to marketing, right? There was many years ago, fun fact, there was a blended whiskey released for Jaguar.
Sure.
Right. Many years ago. Right. So there is a little history of the car and the whiskey. I almost feel like there's another series with cars. I don't know if it's Macallan. I'll have to dig around. I feel like there might be a Bentley reference in another whiskey release series. So they're looking for that clientele. They're trying to attach relationships, right, and to bring it somewhere. But clearly, I'm hopeful this doesn't taste like a car. right, or any petroleum products, right.
Sure.
But if this is the kind of thing you jump out of a nice car with, I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm late.
Sure.
All right, Meg.
Thank you.
All right. So the color, regardless of its point of origin, I'd say is medium dark gold.
Yeah.
Gold. Yeah.
I mean, it's good, especially if you find a place in the white light around this place, right? It really just penetrates, and it's a deep gold. Are we on the same page?
I would
Definitely.
Just zero argument.
Yes.
Yep, you got it. That's it.
got it.
Right. That's the what is that show? The Family Feud. Number one answer.
Number one.
Right. Every other answer will be worth less. All right.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, that went quick. See what we can get anything to develop. Oh, so interestingly for the car, I just had a complete S curve, and then it broke off.
Oh yeah.
And then it broke off, and now I've got some hangers. Right.
I've still got an S curve hanging out over there.
Right.
You don't have any growing yet. Oh, they're starting.
Yeah.
I've just got some starting.
Yeah.
Rick has some going.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
Pretty exciting.
Yep. This particular bottle still out there, pretty widely available in duty-free shops, and hitting some secondary markets.
Almost didn't make it through.
Really?
I got stopped by TSA and forgot I had it in my bag.
Oh, wasn't declared?
And I had to go back and pack a backpack and check it through.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Only one time coming through did customs charge me because I exceeded the limit.
Yeah.
I stayed within the bounds of the law, but I had to pay $27 to get
For one bottle?
21 bottles.
Yeah.
It's all based on the quantity and the ABV. It's a set rate. It has nothing to do with the value of the bottle. It's just the alcohol concentration and how much do you have.
Okay.
And then there's a fairly reasonable set price per liter. All right, so we nose it. The Bowmore 15-year-old Aston Martin travel retail exclusive duty-free only. That's light. Citrusy.
Citrusy for sure.
Definitely.
I mean, really citrusy.
What's the ABV on this?
43. Which I really appreciate because a lot of folks are getting down on the travel exclusives. Really feeling that you're just dumping lots of 40% releases in that market. And so I appreciate coming through at the 43 for sure for this Bowmore. I mean, so yes, there's some peat in here. There's some smoke in here. It's light, right? It's a background player to this very front heavy citrus.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a citrusy taste to it.
Yep. Right. I mean, are you picking up on that, Meg?
Yes.
This is absolutely very
Grapefruity?
I went to grapefruit versus a lemon or something.
Yeah,
It's more
or
of a
even an
heavier-
orange.
Yeah, definitely not an orange, right? My opinion, right? You know, I
Or a
would
blood
be
orange or something
right.
darker.
Yeah, maybe a blood orange, but
Right. I hear the grapefruit for sure. Not that this couldn't be a lemon poppy seed cake either. There is something battery about this, right? It's
I like car battery.
yeah, no, right? Yeah, it's
salted
this
battery?
This battery could start an Aston Martin, like cake batter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's something very cake battery,
batter-like.
lemon cake battery like batter like.
I could see that. Like almost a little bit of a doughy,
Right. Yeah, I'll agree with doughy.
Okay.
like doughy or
I could do that.
bready.
Right, citrusy, doughy. Wow.
We had some sourdough tonight with dinner, and that's the dough.
Yep.
The,
All right, enough of that rubbish.
Okay,
Let's
taste.
try it now. Cheers. The Bowmore 15-year-old Aston Martin, duty-free only, 43% ABV.
Citrus right off the bat.
and very light.
The whole way through citrus.
Wow.
I mean, there's some peat. That's totally happening. But there's a fresh citrus in there.
Yeah.
Almost like we've taken a bite of
A bite of a
a citrus, right?
And I expected a burn, but
a
there's
lemon
no burn.
or a grapefruit, right? It's got a little to it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a maybe like a smoked, no, a zest.
Right. No, there's something tangy about
Yeah.
this citrus. Right. It's sweet, but it's got more tang than sweet. Wow. And sometimes, I'm not like excited about the gimmicks, right, of the
Right.
the thing, right? And I get it. It's a business and people need to like earn a living and that's the deal, right? But that they're not just hanging their hat on the thing. The juice itself is actually pretty high quality.
They put a quality
Yes.
Yeah.
whiskey into that bottle.
That is a pretty dominant citrus experience.
Yeah, even
That's surprising.
in the aftertaste, after you put it down, it's gone down your throat. It's still sitting
It's still
right
there.
on the top of my tongue.
Yep.
I mean, wow, right? I've had more complex whiskeys and sophisticated whiskeys, right? Of course, right? And could I say that about this to other whiskeys? Yes, this would be more sophisticated and complex. But this whiskey, I think the thing that sets it in its own lane is just how much this citrus experience really dominates, right? Often we're finding notes of citrus,
Yeah.
right? That, and we're spending a lot of time in chocolate and spending a lot of time in, apple, right? Right, or pear. But that's not what's happening here. There's
Where's my little umbrella to put in?
right, we got a tangy whiskey.
Here is a.
I'm pretty impressed by this. And again, for an Islay, we're not spending much time talking about the peat. Where's the peat lying for you, Rick?
I mean, I've drunk bottles of Octomore, and enjoyed them. Mostly, I'm going to say a Edredor. I like that level of peat.
Okay,
So I
so
remember.
right, so the Edredauer peats are the Balanchins is their range of their peated whiskeys. But in this particular whiskey, where's the peat lying? Right. Oh, where's it fitting in with the citrus?
It's under it.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
under it.
That's
It's under it.
That's the right answer.
Right.
That's the number one answer. Right on the Family Feud tonight. Right. It's underneath. Right. And again, that they've been able to layer this citrus experience on top of the peat, not next to it. Like I 100% agree. Right. It seems like you're on team peat underneath. Yeah.
I think you nailed it, though. This would be fantastic with a piece of lemon poppy seed cake.
I'm just, right. I mean, I just can't get away from the citrus experience, how tangy and zesty it is.
Yeah.
But would this be a good blend, a mixer in a drink? Or could you sit there and really have a double of this?
So to the first question that Meg has just answered, I don't know what a blend is.
Me neither usually, but I'm not sure if I could do a double of this.
But would I have a double of this? Yes.
You would?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. It is, and if you're like talking about how unique of an experience it is, right, and how distant it is from many traditional whiskey experiences, I hear you 100%. But why would I have a double of this? Because I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It is very unique in its flavor.
I was really expecting more of a straight up whiskey.
Right. Just an Islay.
A nice Islay.
Yeah.
Just a whiskey.
Yeah.
In the barrel.
Yeah.
And
There's something, so this may be the Aston Martin piece of this. There's something refined about this whiskey.
That's
right,
the connection.
that it's been taken care of and put together in such a way that it sets it apart from what you were expecting, just like an Aston Martin is set apart from most other automobiles on the road, even though it is just a car.
yeah. 5 is more than just a car.
So
Icon.
yes. So, all right. So the Bowmore 15-year-old Aston Martin edition, still available, impressing us with its very dominant, tangy, citrus taste with peat underneath and perhaps a pretty refined drink, just like the car that it's named with. Well, let's see what the crew has for us while I get my glass ready for a toast. So I'd like everybody to make sure my wife gets the message. Too much of anything is bad, but too much whiskey is barely enough. The Bowmore Aston Martin, this 15-year-old whiskey, I think we all went in with like, okay, a retail exclusive. It'll be fine. And I think we're all walking out with this 15-year-old Bowmore is a pretty nice drink and very unique in its profile.
And surprising. I would say surprising.
Yep.
Delivered from Dublin.
Delivered from Dublin, hand delivered
Personally.
to the bar by Meg.
Thanks, Meg.
You're welcome.
With a bearded man and a British guy.